if you saw that promo video, you know that I said I have a surprise announcement. Did you see that? Well, I'm a little nervous about this announcement. So I'm going to ask you guys, y'all my people, right? I'm going to ask you, no matter what I say, I need you to cheer like it's the coolest thing you've ever heard. All right? Should we run through a test? All right, let's try it. Announcement. All right, ladies and gentlemen, not only is today the day of our live podcast, but it is the day that I released my very first book. Y'all follow instructions pretty well. Thank you. The name of the book is called Confront, the Brutal Facts, the Stockdale Paradox, and Sports. Now, I'm going to read from this because I butcher it every time. This is what I wrote. What if the key to athletic success lies in the lessons of a Vietnam prisoner of war? If the keys to athletic success were in this book, would you be interested? Let me tell you what happened. I was in the doctorate program, ETSU, Dr. Johnson, Dr. Sayers. I read a book on leadership, and they were talking about 7 core traits of great leaders. And one of the traits was called Confront the Brutal Facts, and it was motivated by former President of War, Jim Stockdale. Now, what the paradox is having confidence that you will succeed, but also having the ability to confront the brutal facts of one's reality, which means being self-aware, self-examining. Usually when someone questions themselves, that's associated with a lack of confidence. No, Jim Stockdale had confidence while also being able to question himself. He was a prisoner of war for 8 years, so while he was in captivity, he said, yo, I'm gonna make it home. But that wasn't ego or hubris that blinded him to his current reality. He said, I'm gonna make it home, but there's certain tactics I gotta do to make sure I get there. And when I saw, or when I read about this quality, I said, yo, that's something I've exhibited. When I went to play college basketball, having no formal experience, I believed I was gonna be successful. I had the confidence, but I still had the ability to self-examine after games, like, yo, Will, you had 15 points, but if you would have moved your feet a little bit, you would have 15 points and drew through charges, and then you would have got 10 rebounds. I still had the ability to listen to instruction from my coaches or my peers. My ego didn't blind me. I had confidence, but not ego. And I said, yo, if that quality, that leadership trait has helped me in my humble athletic career, if it is a real thing, then I should be able to find it amongst some of the greatest athletes in the world. So I set out on a mission to read as much as I can about some of the greatest athletes and see if this trait was present in them. The ability to be confident, but still learn your valuable lessons and confront the brutal facts of your reality. I think I found it. Any Kobe Bryant fans in here? Who could tell me how Kobe Bryant's rookie season ended? Somebody, come on, EXO. Go ahead, coach. 4 air balls. Kobe Bryant, the great Kobe Bryant, shot 4 air balls in the biggest game of the year, an elimination game at Utah. Now, I'm going to give you a multiple choice test. How do you think Kobe responded to that? Or how do you think he explained it away? Did he say, yo, man, you know, I was young? Did he say, yo, like, it's the organization's fault because, like, you know what I'm saying, they ain't really play me that much? Did he say, yo, it was Shaq's fault because, like, he was the high-priced free agent, but he, like, fouled out in the fourth quarter? Or did he say, yo, my legs were spaghetti. I didn't have the strength to get the ball to the rim? Which one you think he said? Now, we know Kobe don't lack for confidence. but he had that ability to look internally, right? So when they got back from Utah, the day they landed in LA, he went to the gym. Now, why this is important? Because how could you ever improve if I can't get you to acknowledge your deficiency? And it was important that I write on this topic because I got too many athletes. Yo, they play 40 minutes of basketball, they lose. I'm like, yo, what happened? Yo, the ref. What? You play 40 minutes of basketball, the only thing you can walk away with is that the ref was bad? So essentially what you're saying is that you're perfect. But I'm telling you, that's not what the great ones do. I'm going to give you another example. Anybody heard of Tom Brady? Let me tell you what Tom Brady did. The Stockdale paradox was present in him. At this point in his career, he was a 3-time Super Bowl champion. 3. Nobody would question the greatness of Tom Brady. They went to play their division rivals, the lowly Jets. It was a Monday night game after Christmas. They won. Tom Brady and the Patriots won. But early in the game, he threw an interception, and the player returned it for a touchdown, a pick 6. The player that returned it was his former teammate, Todd Law. You know what Tom Brady did? Later in that week, ring. Hey, Ty, what did you see on that pass? Did I give any tells to let you know that the ball was coming your way? Tom Brady, 3 Super Bowls up, still looking for more information so he can improve. He didn't write it off as, yo, like the wide receiver fell. Yo, like my offensive line didn't block. So in this book, I give you countless examples of the great ones and their presence of the Stockdale paradox and how that has helped them to improve. Now, also in this book is what is at risk if you do not exhibit this quality. And I write about some of your favorites on that list too. I'm gonna tell you, LeBron's on that list. Don't fight me. You gotta get the book first. But the reason why, again, this is so important to me because I see too many athletes, too many people not operating at their maximum potential because their ego is blinding to them to getting better. And what happens when that happens? There's opportunities that may arise that you may miss out on. You may miss out on that scholarship opportunity that could change your family's life. I talked about Cadell. We won the city championship. That was the only time his dad got to see him. Imagine if we squandered that. If we was somewhere talking about, yeah, it was that ref. Nah, we fought hard that year to improve. And the culmination of that was us winning the championship, being at our absolute best at the most important time of the year. You think about sales teams. If you're not operating at your maximum, well then people get laid off, people lose their job, people can't pay their mortgage, people homeless, can't eat. I think the loss is catastrophic if we don't maximize our potential. That's why I wrote this book. It's for my young athletes, it's for my coaches, it's for everybody really. You know what I'm saying? So please ask that you check it out. I not only wrote about famous people, I wrote about people in my life. I tell my own little story, but I also wrote about people close to me because you don't need to be a superstar to exhibit the Stockdale paradox because, again, it's about maximizing your potential, whatever it may be. For Michael Jordan, it was 6 rings. For Tom Brady, it was 7 Super Bowls. For me, it could be 2 CUNYAC championships, right? Here's one of my guys I wrote about, Jeffrey Jean Baptiste. He is the head coach at Division III Brooklyn College. Now, when Coach got the job, he invited me to be a part of his staff. That was my first coaching job ever. Anybody knows me, I never had a desire to coach. The reason I answered the call because it was an opportunity for one of my brothers to take over his alma mater, which doesn't happen often. So when he called me, it was about servicing my brother. It wasn't about basketball. I didn't care what he was doing as a coach. He could have been doing tic-tac-toe on that board. I was going to back him up. But when I got there, I saw not only was he a great basketball player, but he was a great coach. And he exhibited that Stockdale paradox. On days we lost, on days we won, the conversation was the same. honest assessment of who we are. Hey, yo, we won today, but if we do that bullshit tomorrow, we ain't gonna win. And there was a point in the season when we lost about 5 people to academic reasons. Now, he didn't cry and boo-hoo and pout like, dang, son, like, now what we gonna do? He confronted our new reality. Hey, we without those guys. We still gotta push forward. And he went, honestly assessed our new team. Yo, since we without those guys, shit, maybe we gotta cut this playbook in half. Oh, snap, we don't have the ball handlers we need? All right, maybe we need to slow the game down. We don't have as many bodies? All right, maybe instead of playing full court man, we're going to slow it down in the zone, give these guys an opportunity to rest. And I think it was that point that led to his peers naming him Coach of the Year in his first year. I think Coach exhibits that quality, and that's the reason he was able to be successful that year. He's in the book. He conducted an interview. You know who else we got in the book? Hey, now. The man you just saw on the stage, Mr. Kayvon Baker. Okay, you remember that interview we did? It was a Zoom call. I think it was 20 when I was telling you I was writing a book. Now with Kayvon, my man Kay. You got to buy the book. I'm sorry. That's it. Who in here has written a book? Slackers. Now, when you put a book together, there's a lot of parts you got to put together. You got the cover, you got the back cover, you got the table of contents. But there's a part of a book called the foreword. And that is usually written by someone other than the author. It's written by someone who is an industry professional. And they introduce the book. They introduce the topic. And the person I chose to write my foreword is the man who helped me throughout my doctoral program, the great Dr. Brian Johnson, East Tennessee State University. So that is the first person you'll hear from in the book.